The what?
The Boardcast.
The podcast.
Come on, William.
Are you pronouncing your P's
goal.
as B's or B's as P's?
I just said the podcast,
Yeah, but
not the broadcast.
Yep.
I said the podcast.
Yes, but usually we say welcome to. It's like welcome to the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever.
I think the person that clicked on
Okay, this intro sucks. All right, anyway.
well, the person that clicked on this link, hopefully they know this is a podcast.
Yeah, it's the first one they listen to.
Yeah.
All right.
Well,
This
we're
is
the
a cool
Boardcast.
podcast.
Thank you for listening.
The
Now,
cool
William.
cast.
You're leading on from the intro. Give us some stuff. Come on.
Right.
Let's jazz it
So
up a little.
today is going to be an exciting episode.
Yeah.
Very exciting.
Very
Is
exciting.
it?
Yes. We're going to talk about something that we don't talk about. Never happened before.
We're going to start with the elephant in the room.
Yes. The Big Bang.
So,
The Big Bang.
do you
Like the
want
show?
to talk about this then, Danny?
What did we talk? I don't know what this is.
Oh, come on, Danny.
Incident at
The
Northern Boards.
incident. The Big Bang.
Oh, the break-in.
Danny.
Why?
I was like, what?
I thought we were going kind of like a religious thing there. Where we
No. I was like, the Big Bang, the bang, the boom.
yeah, so as 100% predicted by me, so I was 100% correct. We did get broken into. And so it was on Monday night.
Do you think it's the same people?
I definitely think it's the same people that broke into the markets earlier.
Yeah.
Because it's the same MO. They smash and grab. They come in. They took only cash, theoretically. Like they did try to steal the boombox next to the thing as well, but they didn't do a very good job of that either. And they've just taken the money, hit the cash till, and left without touching anything else.
So Monday night,
Yeah.
we came back on a Tuesday morning,
Yes.
and our back door was broken in.
Yeah. Someone called Nem, and then Nem called me, and the power cord was hanging out through the secondary door that we have at the back. A lot of people won't even see that it's there because it's actually put behind one of our shelving pieces. So they kicked that, they pried that door open and then kicked that over.
Yeah.
So all of our one-piece pop vinyls were just splayed out all over the floor. It's very exciting.
It was a lot of weird shenanigans that happened for the break-in, right?
Yeah.
Because they went through the back door instead of the front door.
Which would theoretically be easier.
Yeah, I didn't. And
To get through the front.
mainly because the back door has a whole shelf just in front of
Just
it.
directly in front of it.
So not only
yeah.
do you have to break through the first barrier, which
Wait,
is
hold
the
on.
door.
So just to let everybody know, the front door and the back door now is being reinforced. So
Yeah.
don't get any funny
This
ideas.
was definitely a wake-up call for us to up
Reinforced.
security a lot.
Yeah.
So
well, the thing is, like,
Titanium.
security really shouldn't be up to us. It should be on the rental company. But we're in a place where the rental company doesn't really do a lot anyway. So it's a bit of a bummer. But it's a good we've had a good team. Like my mate Connor has come down. We've come up with some plans, and then Nem's dad he's a bit of a handyman, so he's going to come put some extra bolts in for us as well. And then Chris, who's an electrician who comes to the club, he's going to come put some more sentry lights in. So we've already come together as a community. You know what I mean? To fix it up.
I heard there's a CCTV getting put in as well.
Well, they actually somebody showed me they're not as expensive as they used to be. So
Like the Swan ones are pretty cheap on JB Hi-Fi now.
Yeah.
You can get like a full wireless ones at like what $600 with voice and what's it called, the siren as well.
Oh.
Like it has
the
like
motion sensor thing.
Yeah, and it has the what's it called? Like the police lights, right? Blue and red. It has that as well.
I wonder if you can.
I've seen these around people's houses actually. Yeah.
And
wonder
then,
if you can-
and then when you enter like the barrier, right? And then it has like you are entering private property. Like it has like that.
Yeah.
And then it creates that noise. It's
heard
just,
this
it's just
going
a
off, yeah.
deterrent, right? So it's like noisy, it's loud, and it's like flashing lights. And then people just it is deter people.
It's
Yeah,
very
sure.
Home Alone. I like it.
Yeah.
You can play your own.
and it's
voice
only like
clips.
$600.
Yeah.
For like,
$600 is a lot of money though. I think that's the worst bit is like at this point is like everything costs so much money, and it's more money that I've got to put in just to stop people coming in and like jacking the building. Like he would have done more damage to the door than in value wise than how much money they took out of the till. So it's a bit of a bummer.
It was
but-
just the leftover petty cash from on Monday night they took.
Yeah.
But yeah, they had to go through the back door. They pushed down the shelf, walked in. I like to think that maybe they were confused because they didn't spend a lot of time in here. They took the register and they took our Bluetooth speaker.
no, I think maybe they thought Danny was in the store too. Like they got in and out quickly before Danny wakes up.
He's a podcast listener. Like, oh shit.
Like,
Well, the video cameras from next door, they saw the guy try to break into every other shop that's here first.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So he was going for the vape shops first.
I think that makes a lot more sense.
And
It's
then-
easy to sell
Does it
vapes
have like
at the
an
moment.
actual picture or was he like hoodie up?
There's quite a bit of footage of him just like diddling around out there, but you can't see anything unfortunately because he's like full hoodie on and it's quite dark, so you can see him moving around. Like he tries to break in out there for like 20 minutes, and then because he's not successful out in any of those shops, then he just I guess walks into our building.
I think he couldn't actually see what's in the store as well. Yeah,
you can't.
it's too dark.
You can't really see the till from either side really, because on the front side it's behind the desk. On that side there's the the shelving in front of the door.
Well, it's the number one indicator that we weren't targeted. So that
Wait,
helps a lot.
do you know like how restaurants did it, right? So like I have a couple of clients before in like doing F&B. What they do is they remove the till. Food and beverages, like food business. So what they do is they remove the till and put it up on the counter.
That's what I did last night.
Yeah. So everybody who's looking out from the window, like, they know the till is empty already. So like, there's no point coming in.
Talking to people over the week, somebody suggested that to me. I was like, oh, that's not a bad idea. So
it is. This is what all the cafe do. Like they just put everything. If you go to cafes right now, like all the cafes in like Leaderville,
like
whatever, everything, all the tills are just up there. Like it just open up. Like, hey, it's there.
It's naturally, this is one of those wake up calls for us to kind of just up security and be more mindful of ourselves, because we've obviously been quite casual about this, and
for many years
we're fortunate that this incident has also been, like, all things considered, like, it could have been way worse. Right. Like if we were indeed targeted by someone that knows what we do, they could have come in and stolen specifically product and like lots of like cards that worth a lot of money, and they could sell it off for more than what they could get from the cash register. And that would actually do more damage to the business than just grabbing the petty cash.
True.
So all things considered, I think we came out of that pretty light, and it's good that we had a little bit of a wake up call.
Northern Boards is good. It's good.
I think that's hard as well. Like a hobby shop like this doesn't make an incredible amount of money. So if we lost a lot of stock, or like some of even the electronics and stuff, if we'd taken that damage, it's like critical amount of damage. You know what I mean? Like, and it's like, we have insurance and those kind of things as well, but the insurance really incentivizes you not to use the insurance, because then they up the price of the insurance or they take the insurance away, and it's like, we do have that there, but it's not really like a fix-all kind of problem. It's just to continually go back to insurance if this was to happen. And originally, I was pretty surprised they didn't take any of the electronics at all. But then talking to the police doing the report, they said that most electronics, including like computers and iPhones and stuff like that, can be tracked quite easily. So that a lot of the times, like thieves who do it regularly, they won't take anything like that at all, because they've got a way better chance of getting found out further down the line, essentially.
Yeah, cash is the best. Right.
Everything is passworded now. If you take a phone now, you got to find someone to crack it.
So,
frankly, don't rob us. Danny's going to sleep inside here with a hatchet.
I slept here on the Saturday. I can't sleep here every night, though. That's the problem. I guess I can.
But it's a lottery.
Danny's going to... Wait. Danny's going to sleep here?
True. I'll just do it randomly.
Danny's going to roll a dice, sleep here randomly. You won't know.
So if you want to bake cookies and bring them to me randomly during the nights, on any night, I may or may not be here.
I can't wait for me to like forget my keys one night and like come back to Northern Boards, open the door, and just have Danny charge me with a hatchet.
I'll be sleeping. I'm hoping my presence scares them off.
You're like the Tom and Jerry cartoon of the bulldog in the back sleeping. While Tom and Jerry run around trying to rob Northern Boards.
Try to fight each other.
So,
Interesting.
It was actually quite heartwarming as well after we had the thing and you posted it about it. We had several community members really like show a lot of like care. They messaged us personally being like, hey, anything we can do to help out? Is everything okay?
Thank you.
The community came out in kind of a little team spirit, which I really appreciate as well.
Absolutely. Yeah. Like I actually got an incredible amount of responses on the thingy. It was a little overwhelming. So I really appreciate everyone's patience as well. So I actually sat down on Wednesday last night and made an effort to make sure I replied to as many people as I can, because I had so many like messages come through the Facebook and stuff like that. So really appreciate that, guys. It's good. So, it's one of those things where it happens. It's like, I think in the scheme of things, because we got robbed 2 weeks ago and they got robbed again. So, in the scheme of there's quite a bit of money that's gone into fixing things and replacing
For clarity,
things.
that first time was down at Burger Boy.
Yeah, Burger Boy, yeah, sorry. So it's like Burger Boy 1 week. And I think that's the real benefit, I guess, like, the silver lining is like, some people have no small businesses that can get robbed. So I guess I could be like thankful for the fact that I have at least 2 small businesses that can get robbed.
Do you think it's like a milestone? It's a growing thing? I feel like every small business at some point is going to risk a theft.
Yeah, it does. It does happen. And like, I think the biggest problem is that once people do it and they find it easy to get in somewhere, they're more likely to come back at some point.
That's the main thing.
The thing is, I don't think they get charged like a lot. Like, I mean, the punishment is not...
The chance of getting caught is quite low, really.
I mean, if you get caught, what are you going to do to you?
Yeah.
Right? That's the thing. That's my take on it, right?
My auntie, she got robbed in Osborne Park at a house like quite a few years ago, and it was like 4 or 5 years ago, and then 2 years later, they caught the guy in Melbourne. And they got like some partial fingerprints.
Whoa, they got a guy?
Yeah, they actually caught him, yeah. And he was charged, and like they called her just to let her know that he was getting charged.
Oh, no.
It's got to be so like vindicating. You're like, God damn it worked.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah,
Holy
like
yeah.
so it does happen. I think that's important. It's like
Okay.
because we had
Trust.
and the police were actually pretty good. Like I spent quite a bit of time on the phone getting to like do the report, but then the police came that same day at the end of the day to do the
nice.
forensics
We had
stuff
a
like that.
forensics guy come through, and it was. I wish we could be more helpful.
Yeah,
because
I
by
know.
the time he's arrived, we already fixed up the back door, put everything back on the shelves, and it was business as usual.
Yeah,
So the
yeah.
forensics guy came in and talked to me, and I was like, "Sorry, bro, I actually wasn't here for the thing. We've already put the shelf back on." And the door's back up, and he's like, "Okay, well, let's go around and look at the door." We walked around to the back. I pointed at the door. and was like, "Well, it's locked again. It's fixed."
Yeah.
The forensics guy looked at me. and was like, "Well, now what do we do?"
Well, it's
I don't
hard.
have anything to show for the forensics guy.
It's hard, right? Like I had, I'm not gonna put them, I'm not gonna throw them on the bus, but I called a friend who works nearby, so because he's like a quick response, because I was actually down south dealing with another issue, and Nem wasn't here, and like you're on the way to uni, right?
Yeah.
So I as soon as we knew there was an issue, I called a mate who worked nearby, and he came over, because the other thing as well was like, if you could just, we didn't know the state of the situation, and I just assumed they'd gone through the front door, so I was worried that the front door was just wide open and you could walk in. So I didn't want just like other randoms just walking in and walking away with product, you know what I mean? So he came in and he like closed the door, and then he like tidied up a bit, but that's not the ideal situation because you need the police to come through and like fingerprint everything, right? So he'd put the till back up, and there was actually a screwdriver found on the floor, and he'd pick the screwdriver and put it on the table. And like, definitely not the suggested thing to do when in that situation, but it's he was, all he was doing is helping me out, so I can't be mad about it.
I think it did contribute to us getting like business as usual back on our
Absolutely,
feet
yeah.
faster.
Yeah.
And really, I think I'd prefer that over the 1% extra chance that we catch a guy.
Yeah, it's
So,
true. Yeah,
yeah.
and I've joked about this a few times over the last few days, but I almost have to thank the guy because he broke in and he could have taken a lot more.
Yeah.
but he really like on the
You can't now because it's secured. Yeah.
When you sent me the pictures, I looked at. We had the Magic the Gathering cabinet open, and a couple Warhammer cabinets were open.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh, that motherfucker!"
Yeah.
It did take credits, but we were very fortunate.
He tipped the till over and left $50 on the ground, and he stole the boom speaker, but then he left the boom speaker on the table outside, so he even got that back.
We have a Bluetooth speaker. We have a Bluetooth speaker that he decided to grab on his way out, but I don't know if on the way out he forgot about it and just didn't care anymore, or he was it's not worth his effort. He left it on the table outside. And then just left.
And just left.
Okay.
So the Vietnamese place next door had the boom speaker, and like I don't know if they just thought they got a cool free new boom speaker, or
They attempted half theft. Yeah. But
I saw this on the table. It's mine.
yeah,
this is the crazy superstitious part of my brain, because this is just confirmation bias, my brain being stupid. But this, I swear to God, right? On the Monday night when I was closing up, because we just had that whole talk about, you saw that dodgy crackhead looking guy maybe robbing us. I was on my way home and I was going through the McDonald's drive-through, as you do. And I saw 2 cop cars pass me heading towards Wanneroo. And I thought in my head, I wonder if I should go back and eat my Macca's at Northern Boards. It's just one of those weird hunches, feelings I got. And I was like, man, we did mention about that whole situation. Maybe I should go back and have a look. But I chalked it up to being just superstition and me being silly.
Well, the officer at Joondalup that I spoke to, he said that there were a number of break-ins with the same kind of thing happened, like quite a few happened in the area. So I'm guessing in Wangara, quite a few of them happened at that same time.
Right. I guess it's like he's gonna go on a spree.
But also, if I was just in here eating McDonald's, it's not like it changes anything.
I think the main thing is it just deters people, right?
Yeah.
Then like you don't necessarily want to fight them, but they don't want to fight you either for the most part. Like we're not, I don't like in the middle of Sudan, you're not going to get into a gunfight with each other. Like people are more likely to just take the easy route. I think that's most.
We do have a
crimes,
lot
the
of
easy
things
route.
within throwing distance.
Yeah.
Around the counter.
Where my axe is hit and you're good to go.
Yeah, exactly. We have a crowbar.
Yeah.
I'm going to go
Oh,
straight for that
nice.
crowbar.
Yeah. Well, no, but the problem is the crowbar is quite heavy, so you got to have like good dexterity with it.
But it's +1 to intimidate.
It's true.
The
Yeah,
stats
it's true.
shit, dude.
Yeah.
You need a what's it called, a chant. Berserker chant.
Like a war chant.
Yeah, war chant. War cry.
Yeah, the average, if I was a burglar, right, and I broke into someone's home and I heard chanting, I would leave. I would leave. So,
Well, that same day, as I was driving into the city, a bin truck drove into my truck.
yeah, you had 2 whammies in
Drove
one
into
day.
your truck. How? Can you explain that?
So I was parked on the side of the road.
Yes.
And I parked the wrong way down the road, right? But that's fine because that's the way that you have to do deliveries. So if the building site's on the right, you go up the left and you pull onto the right. So what it means is my truck's basically just facing the incorrect way down the street.
Correct.
Now the bin truck's coming down the right way of the street. Me being on the right or wrong side of the street doesn't make a difference. He just has to pass around my truck. Instead of that, he gauges how much space he's got. So he comes down and then turns, and the back of his truck, because the bin truck has quite a big back end over the wheels, so that where your back wheels are, the further distance your vehicle goes from those back wheels, the more it swings out, right? Like a whale tails out. So certain vehicles a lot and certain not. And that's why driving a tiny little car is a lot easier because that turning circle is more 90 degrees than anything, right? So the bigger and wider you get, the more of a swing you get.
Correct.
So a bin truck has a big swing, and he really should be accounting for that because he's doing it on a day-to-day basis.
Correct.
So he turns and the back of his truck just slams straight into my mirror.
Did he know?
He drove away. So
damn.
So it's account, but it's
Did you get his number or something?
No, so it's account because I came out and he was really driving away or whatever. So but he's a council vehicle, so I can call the council and get them to figure out who was on that route at that time. But it's just another thing that I've got to deal with. You know what I mean?
Right.
So he's hit the window and has pushed the wing mirror of the truck, which is like a big heavy piece of thing, and that punched through my window and exploded my window out all over the truck. Wow. So I spent most of Tuesday while on the phone to the police, also calling around the scrappers in Perth trying to find a secondhand mirror. In the end, I couldn't find one, so I had to go to the UD truck place in Welshpool, and they had a new one for $560.
Oh.
So, and then my
That could go into the CCTV.
and then the window is going to cost me it was $560 plus $200 to install it. And then because it's electric and it has a heating lamp in there as well. Because with when you have fog or whatever, it fogs up. The big truck vehicles have heating lamps in them, so it burns the fog down. I guess quite new cars have that as well, actually. So whatever. But
side mirrors.
Yeah, my car does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. It just has tiny little electrodes run past it.
Okay.
I don't know about you guys, but I just have to wind my window down and take my hand and just rub it on the window.
That's why the trucks have it, because it's too far. You're physically too far away to get to it, right?
Gotcha.
But it has those, and then my window's going to come from over east, and that's going to cost me another $550 or $500 plus installation as well.
So if you say you get to get in touch with the council, right? Would they actually bear the cost?
Theoretically, they should, yeah.
Yeah.
So because I'm a parked vehicle and I was all coned up in traffic management the way I should be, so I'm not in any fault. Obviously, I'm not even in the vehicle. So.
But they could just say it wasn't them.
They could, because I don't have any proof.
Yeah,
so,
that's the thing, right?
Yeah.
No dash cam or whatever.
Theoretically, though, the council, they'd have to do the right thing. They're not private. So the person who checks the videos probably has no more allegiance to the driver.
Right.
Over the years, I've made 2 complaints to bus services because of bad driving for buses. And the people that take the phone calls are generally don't really care about the bus driver. So they'll go review the footage.
Right.
Yeah. And they were because one of the times they were just you will just give the bus driver more training. But the second time, they called me back and they were yeah, that was a pretty bad situation. We're we're really sorry about that. We'll take him away and get him to do some proper training, and there'll be he'll have to go back and do basic training again and start again. So yeah,
they follow through with that. That's a real complaint.
Yeah, I was on Canning Highway and I was driving. It actually wasn't that long. It was only a couple months ago. I was driving along Canning Highway and it's supposed to be 60 there. And I had big A-frames on the back of the truck, and A-frames have big sheets of an A-frame is just basically a big stand that you put on the truck, and it just holds really big flat things on it. So it could be ceramics or steel or glass.
Correct.
When you see a glass van driving around, those are A-frames, and all it does is it just stands it up and puts it on a bit of an angle so it's not likely to slide away. But they're really top heavy. So if you drive nice and safe and proper, it's totally safe. But if you're not a good driver, it's not very safe at all. And if you got hit by something, the whole thing will just topple over. And because they're strapped down very, very well to the truck, if you've strapped it down well enough, which you should be doing, if somebody hits you and they tip, the truck's likely to tip over as well, because it's so top heavy. And I'm driving down Canning Highway and I'm only doing 45, 50, and a bus driver sees me and decides he wants to get out in front, but then he kind of chokes it trying to get out onto getting out fast enough, because they're all automatic and they don't they don't accelerate at the same pace as a normal vehicle does. It's like electric, but electric with a kind of a governor thing, so it kind of eases way in. Anyway, he basically never drives into the side of my vehicle, and I've got to like swerve out of my lane into another lane on the right. But it's like if there was a vehicle on my right, I would have just driven straight over the vehicle on my right.
Yeah.
And I also have to like, well, I say swerve out of the way, but I have to like swerve in the mindset of like I'm super top heavy. I've just like slow motion swerving to like not hit either vehicle.
Right.
Because if I'd let him impact me, the likelihood of my truck completely tipping on its side was very high.
Bus drivers being reckless sounds crazy to me.
Well,
right?
bus drivers are trained to just pull out because the vehicles around them will just stop.
Correct.
Yeah, and it's like that's just their whole thing is just to pull out. So it's like it's normally fine, I guess, because a car can
Except
just,
for a truck,
another heavy
which can't just stop on a dime.
any other heavy vehicles because like the stopping distance of the truck is significantly further than a vehicle like a car is. And even sometimes I'll have to just hit red lights and just accept that what it is because like let's say you're doing 70 road and there's a traffic light on there. Quite often coming off the traffic light, even if it's green, I'll drop down to 50 or 60 or 50 because if it goes red, I won't be able to stop in time to get there.
Correct.
And then sometimes you get right up to it and it goes like orange and then red and I'm still doing the exact same, the right speed or whatever, or 50 or 60, and I still can't stop in time because if I slam the brakes now, I've got so much weight on the back of the truck that it'll just chew up my brakes and then I'll like slide out into the middle of the road anyway. Even if I hit them hard, if you hit your brakes too hard when you're carrying like heavy loads like that on the
brakes
vehicle,
just explode, right?
That too, but all the momentum of the stuff on the back will actually just keep punching forward through the truck.
Oh, shit.
So generally speaking, it's safe because there's like a big head guard that stops it going. All the metal doesn't stop it going through, but it will just push all the weight through and punch the truck forward anyway. So you'll see it sometimes when big vehicles have crashes. They'll big load, like if it's pallets of steel or whatever, it'll just push. You'll stop and then the momentum of the items in the back keep moving, your straps that are holding down brake, and then it punches the cab again, and then the whole vehicle just shoves forward anyway
I've seen
out
this
to the
before,
road.
like a water tanker.
Yep.
Like when they
Final
slam the brake,
destination.
the whole water tank just go forward.
Yeah, because again, the water has its own momentum inside the tank as well, and the water tanks actually have like a bunch of chambers to try and minimize it, and just different vehicles have different types of things. Like fire engines have tanks, but they're also full of like these plastic balls, and the plastic balls help break the momentum. So have you played like
it prevents waves from
Yes.
forming inside the
exactly
truck.
yeah. So like have you ever seen the plastic golf balls when they're like empty inside and they're full of holes? They're effectively like big versions of those, and it's filled up with that, and that way it stops the momentum of the wave creating itself because it's constantly breaking up inside the balls. And like the milk tankers and the oil tankers have like all these little like sections to it as well.
But it's a bit like big ships, how they have partitions inside.
It's like if you like racing cars, right? So in your fuel tank, there's partition
To
on
like
it.
even it out.
Yeah,
There's like fins. It's almost like fins
The reason
inside
is
the
not
tank.
for momentum. Is when you take corners, so the fuel will go to one side, and your fuel pump is not.
Sucking
no,
air.
sucking
Yeah,
anything
so
in.
you lose power.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
with the fins inside the fuel tank, the fuel is equalized. So your fuel pump is still working as it is. So when you take the corners and everything, so your fuel is not pushed to one side.
It's funny you say that because like some of the older trucks, I've never had one, but I've had to go if you guys use them over the years. If you get on a hill that's too much of an angle, sometimes you can outmaneuver yourself, and then there's no way to get fuel in.
just
So
stall?
you stall
That's
out.
terrifying.
So you got to get a jerry, like you got to park up and then get a jerry can and fuel it up to the top so that it evens back out again. It's
my
a hell
goodness.
nightmare.
It's like a plane stalling in the air. It's
Yeah.
terrible.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Well, that's an interesting one.
So overall, not a great day for us.
Yeah,
that day.
not a great day. It was a pretty
So-
expensive day. I think in the scheme of things, like I probably could have just stayed home that day and made more money.
So seeing small
Not
businesses,
spend
this
any
happens a
money.
lot. We have
Yeah.
like mutually similar business kind of to ours. We have Collector Zone up in Clarkson Ways. They post up stuff on Facebook. They have a very big name and shame policy where if they've been robbed, they'll just post about it.
Oh, really?
And there's some pretty blatant ones. You'll see full on face cam footage of kids walking out of the store with product.
Yeah, kids. It's like there's nothing.
And if they're
can't do
stealing
anything to them,
hundreds
right?
of dollars worth of product, that hurts more than
Yeah,
just the cash.
100%. Because it's just a straight loss. And like you can say insurance, but you really can't. If someone comes in every couple weekends and steals $200, $300, a grand's worth of product, you can't really claim insurance on that either. You can claim it as a loss if you know what it is. But you've got
We
to,
need- you know what
got
we
to
need?
prove it and all this shit.
We need Death Note.
Yeah, but we can't use Death Note because we don't know who did it. You
You
need
can
a
have their
name in Death
name.
Note.
Get the eye.
The Sharing guy.
No, yeah, the eye that can see the name.
I don't know what. I haven't watched.
Have you not watched Death Note?
No.
Oh my goodness. You should watch. It's such a good, to me, that was one of the best anime
Top
ever.
3 animes. William Chong.
Like that one really changed like my
Are you a
perception.
big anime guy?
I can watch it, but I don't like weird stuff. Like
don't like
this
weird
one,
stuff?
This one is like really good. Like it's like real life. Like
A few
Yeah,
years,
yeah.
this is like some more Northern Lords Board Board's
What?
law. Northern Lords Board. Northern Board's law. Like
NBL.
Kang and like Jackson, and like Jackson was quite into the like some of the animes, right? And he's like,
Yeah.
oh, he's trying to give me stuff to suggest to watch. So I started watching that Attack on Titan.
Oh, okay.
And
That was very big at the time.
it seemed very it was fun, but it was I like watching like reading shows, like foreign language shows. Like I watch a lot of the French like crime dramas, and I've watched this
Ooh, classy.
Gamora, which is like an Italian thing as well. It's
Yeah,
very
yeah.
cool. But it's a different pace. And the Attack on Titan was super fast, and they'd also swap between the text being on the top of the screen and the bottom of the screen, and it would be super fast. So I was constantly having to pause to like read what they were saying. And I'm definitely not. I know I'm an avid and a consistent reader, but I'm not a fast reader.
Wait, hold on. I want to ask. Do you know the anime Death Note, right? And you know the concept of Death Note, right?
Yeah, I know the
You
overall
write your
plot
book in the
points.
name and then they die or some shit?
So you write the person's name in the book, and the person will die.
Correct.
Pretty much.
Yes.
It's like a what's it called? Shimigami is called
They're like the Grim Reaper, like the
Correct,
demons.
correct.
They're like the
so whatever they write the name. So the problem is with the Death Note, you have to know the
Their full
person's name.
Yeah.
Before you can.
That was Kang's first point, right?
Yeah. So, but the
Exhibit A.
Exhibit A. So the other thing is you can give up half of your lifespan to get the eye from the Grim Reaper. The
If I remember
Reaper
correctly-
holds-
I think I've lived half my life. I think
So-
if I did it, I would just die.
no, there's just half of your whatever you're left.
Or whatever's left.
Yeah,
okay.
correct. So
So on your deathbed, you could really like fuck someone by like giving up half your life, even though you got 3 hours left to live.
maybe probably.
Oh, spike kill at the end.
yeah.
So you need to have the eye
Yeah.
and the book. So it's a combo, right?
Combo.
So the eye allows you to see, as long as you see the person, the name appears on top of the person's head, something
Okay,
like that,
yep.
right? So that's the cheat code. So so one of the characters in the anime took the eye, but she doesn't have the book. So she helped the person like to get the names because she's a fan of the.
But she's not
Yeah.
giving up half her life?
She gave up half her life.
It's a long story. I
Yeah,
believe
it's a
there's a
long
bit
story,
of
but-
manipulation involved.
The person gave up half her life to get the ability to see names and gave the names to.
Imagine that in modern day crime fighting.
Yeah.
You just someone in the police force to just like draw straws, and you just have to volunteer to lose half your life.
Ooh, if you're like you're on like a death row criminal. They're like, oh, you can give up half your life, but you've got to do this. Like you got to do this, but you have to give
But
up
then
half your life.
the person's not going to tell you the full name.
Yeah, they could just really screw it.
like,
They could just-
Danny Hill. It's not real full name.
True, yeah, but like I guess you'd use it on like a crime where like places that they're not involved in, right?
Yeah, probably. But
So what we're saying is here, if the Robert better watch out, because if we both figure out whatever this eye thing is and this book thing is and see you, you're fucked.
I think what we're trying to say is that we're all willing to kill the person that was going to rob us.
I'm
for
just
$200.
saying, like, if there was something like Death Note, right?
Yeah, the only way to prevent theft is with the threat of lethal violence.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why Danny will sleep with a hatchet.
And
Exactly,
because
yeah.
why I like that show, that thing is, this guy went on to kill the only adversary that was able to stop him, but he managed to kill him and managed to reduce crime rate to 0 because of the ability.
I think the big point of the
yeah.
I haven't watched the anime, but the big point of the anime was like otherworldly, the Shinigamis, like they're messing around with mortal lives.
Correct.
He wasn't supposed to be a hero. And in the end, he got his
he's not
own.
a hero. He's like a genius, like with the ability to kill.
But I get what you mean.
I'm a genius and has the ability to kill.
All right. So
question mark.
If
Not
you-
Stephen Hawking.
If you like that,
He was a genius minus the kill.
Yeah.
that was one of the animes that really like, whoa, animes can be like this
Yeah.
serious too.
I-
Like, it's
I-
not just like spaceships and like Gundams and whatever.
It's
you know?
tricky because I feel like, especially with modern day anime, I've fallen off a lot of it. Just the pacing. I get the same thing as you describe as well, Danny, where the pacing of things. I like reading things.
Attack of
because
Titan is
reading
just
manga means,
way too
yeah,
much. Like
reading manga means I can take my own pace.
Yeah,
I can just
yeah.
read at any speed I want, go.
There is so many
Correct.
like
There's a lot of plot points.
Yeah, I was like, what? And then like, what?
It's very like
It was called
Game
Attack
of
on
Thrones.
Titan, but it felt like an attack on my like neural cortex. Like there was too much color and stuff going on, and it was like there were those things were freaky looking. I was
Well,
like,
are you gonna watch the whole thing? Like, or like
Nah,
the,
if you didn't like season 1,
the
I wouldn't
whole story
recommend it.
was him from A
Whoa! Spoilers.
becomes Z, and then becomes like is
does
this,
he become a Titan thing?
He always was a Titan. Aaron Yeager is a
yeah,
Titan.
he was a Titan.
Oh, and no, are you talking about his origins? Don't worry, that's a spoiler.
No.
Long story short, really, Attack on Titan is just Game of Thrones. It's just a political drama as well.
Yes.
Wait, no, yeah, Titan was the place, right? Not the
No, Titans were the things.
Yeah, the big giants.
Okay,
Correct.
so the main character was always that big guy.
No, Aaron
No,
Yeager
no.
could transform into a Titan.
He can
The
transform.
main guy could transform into a Titan. That was the
I
continuation.
Secret
didn't
ability.
even realize that.
And he became like the giant.
But I have
I watched
I have
probably
a-
like 4 episodes.
I have a
bro.
big gripe with anime as well, and I do actually enjoy watching anime on occasion, but I have to measure it out a little bit more. There's a constant gripe I have, which is over-explaining things. I like watching my movies.
Is
Which
that
means
because they got a lot of episodes they got to fill out?
I guess it's kind of a thing. It's just the narrative thing they do in a lot of Japanese productions. But I like watching movies or shows nice and quick, punchy, where they don't over-explain things. They kind of respect the audience member to just figure it out themselves. It's okay. You don't have to explain everything to me. You just have to have enough for me to piece it together and understand what's going on.
Yeah,
But with
yeah.
anime, you'll have fights where the character
Don't even
will,
understand
will
why.
describe every single move they're doing. And I don't need you to describe your move. I just have to see you punch the guy.
Yeah, I'm sure that's just a way to like spread out storytelling, right?
Yeah.
because I think that's why I like comic comic episodes like The Simpsons or like Bob's Burgers or something, because it's like they'll just introduce characters and like things will just happen and you just have to accept it. Like you're on the roller coaster, there's no questions. You do the roller coaster, the episode ends, and the next episode it means nothing. Like someone dies the episode before, the next episode they're alive. It doesn't mean anything, right?
Talking about movies, what movies actually destroy your mind? Like, oh my god!
What was like just made me think really hard?
No, not think really hard. Like, it's like a plot twist, like or whatever. Like
I don't know if I can answer that off the top of my head.
that's one movie that actually that I remembered pretty well. It was called Flight Plan.
What?
It's like
Never seen
a
it.
Say that again.
flight plan. Flight plan.
Flight
So-
plan. Right.
What's her name? That Jodie Foster? Is it Jodie Foster?
Yeah.
That's the person.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, she acted. She acted in it. I think it's Jodie Foster.
She's been in a lot of movies I like as well.
Yeah. Flight Plan.
Silence of the
It was
Lambs.
like a movie where she lost her husband and she got on a plane and suddenly with her daughter. Sorry, she went on the plane with her daughter going back to like her hometown or whatever. And suddenly her daughter went missing.
While on the plane.
Yeah, correct.
Okay.
And because she designed the plane, she was like saying like, "Oh, you should check here, you should check that," and people like, "Oh, you're hallucinating because there's no records of your daughter came up
Ever
with
getting on
yeah.
the plane?
Yeah,
Is it one of those you were dreaming the whole sequence?
yeah."
things?
And I was
What's
like,
the movie
I
with
was
the dreams within
convinced.
dreams?
Inception.
Inception. Yeah.
Yeah, I was convinced that she was crazy. Like throughout the movie, it was
But
like,
I
there's so many-
So was she crazy?
No, she wasn't. She,
they
the
were
daughter
trying to-
was
were they-
actually there.
Was it the dad was like trying to
No,
kidnap
no,
the kid?
the dad's like the husband passed away, like actual. But the thing is, there was terrorists like wanting to like take over the plane and kidnap the daughter and put her right in front of the nose of the plane. Yeah,
Jesus Christ.
yeah.
It's a very narrative device. I think the last movie I watched, which had the whole narrative device of everything you watched was actually a dream. Do you remember the movie Sucker
Yeah.
Punch?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
with the-
Sucker Punch was actually really good.
Yeah, it was like
Yeah.
high production fight scenes, and the lead actress never got her career off the ground after that one, unfortunately.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
She
it's
did.
unfortunate.
She acted in the Gods. What's it called? The series?
Doesn't count.
Oh, the Egyptian gods thing.
No, Egyptian Gods.
American Gods.
American Gods. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Doesn't count. She never she went from like Hollywood cinema to like TV shows. It's like a downgrade if you're an actress. But that was the whole point of that movie. Was at the end, it was just a whole sequence she created for herself after she's getting lobotomized.
Yes, that's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you? So, Shutterstock Island was the same thing as well. You ever see that?
Yeah.
I haven't watched that. Is it?
Yeah, it's
good?
pretty good. Yeah, yeah.
The thing is, I like my movies to just respect the audience a little bit, to let you figure it out yourself and enjoy the ride. I think a pet peeve of mine is when you have that person sitting next to you who's constantly asking you questions. Like, bro, it's okay. Just just watch it. It'll explain it to you in time.
Or you've been watching the show for the same amount of time and they're asking you questions. You're like, you should know as much as I know.
Yeah, like I listen to the things happening. You should pay attention.
Hey.
I don't want to pretend like I'm actually smart or like at all, but I'm really bad for like picking out exactly what's going to happen for every movie that I ever watch.
Do you have?
And it makes watching movies kind of bad.
Do you watch like M. Night Shyamalan movies and just
I just did.
Yeah.
The new one.
which one?
Oh,
the one with the house in the woods thing.
no.
The one with the Doomsday.
No. It's a new one.
brand new one.
I can't remember. Oh yeah. The trap.
What's it about?
So this guy is taking the daughter to a concert, and this,
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I
And-
want to watch that one.
And then the
concept
concert
is interesting.
was actually just like they had that concert to actually trap this guy.
Yeah. It was there's a serial killer in
Yeah.
the area.
Yeah, that got a lot of
and
advertising. I saw a lot of like social media.
It was
ads for
pretty
that.
good.
Pretty good.
It was pretty good.
Did you see the movies or on streaming?
Yeah, it's on like Prime.
Oh, yeah.
check it out. I enjoy my M. Shyamalan movies. I think they can be very like you always know there's going to be a twist, and the overall beats can be fairly similar, but the idea and the concept of it is always like, ooh, let's go.
Yeah.
I like my whodunit films, my Agatha Christie style Murder on the Orient Express detective movies.
Did he do Lost? Is he the Lost guy?
Is he the Lost guy? No, that's a TV series, right?
Yeah.
Did you ever watch Lost? I was never around for that Lost TV show.
Nah, I
But
didn't watch Lost.
That was a
Too
big
much.
cultural thing.
My parents did the whole Lost thing every night. Like I was, like
you guys do the
just
whole-
before, like I roughly like when I was a kid, but for people a little bit older than us, like cultural touchstone of Lost was like a big deal.
I heard that back then everyone was always like, what's going to happen next? Oh no, this is the
I
theory.
heard
Who's going to die? Yada yada.
They went off and came back.
What?
Like Lost.
Have you watched Lost?
Yeah.
They went
All right,
off the
spoil the
island.
ending. What happens?
And they came back to the island.
What is the ending?
Yeah, the ending was they kind of like theoretically because it's still kind of a guessing game at the end, and that's why people got a bit mad. But the idea was that they all died, and the whole thing was them moving on to the next universe.
Oh
That's
wait. Something like that. It's a Japanese drama called Alice in Borderlands. You gotta watch it.
Alice in Borderlands?
Yeah.
That's like so close to the infringement.
Is that
It's so
anime?
good.
Anime?
No, it's not anime. It's like a real life.
Okay.
Yeah, it's so good. It's so good.
So is it like a riff off Alice in Wonderland?
No. Like, what happened was, long story short, what happened was, like a meteor strike the town of like Tokyo, I think, and then a lot of people got injured, and the whole story is based off these survivors, like in between life, like passing through life, it's shown in a game. So they're playing games in this area called the Borderlands, and if you fail, that means you pass. Like, you pass on. But if you keep winning, that means you're like fighting like your life. Pretty much. So you need to fight all the way to the whole thing to like survive, to wake up, kind of thing.
Interesting.
It's very nice. Long story short,
Very
but
high concept. I'm down.
very, very good. Very good. I love it. That's one of the dramas like I really put my time and effort into it. Like I watch it and like, it's so good.
I struggle with finding the time to commit to watching a show. I
This
feel
one
like
you can commit.
I feel like I should just go for it. Once I watch episode 1 of a thing, I'll stick to it. But I have to at least start.
This could be our roast duck Alice in the Borderland.
This is the segment where William talks about his.
Yes.
Yeah?
Talk about my tier.
I
the
feel like
platinum
William's
tier.
just on a vendetta against ducks. I think that's what it really is.
I just want to eat roast duck. Okay, just give me an excuse to eat roast duck. Because I don't have any excuse to like eat roast duck. I'm like, this is an excuse.
It has to be a productive thing for you.
Yeah, I mean, I have the reason. I just don't. I don't want to eat just for the sake of eating. Right?
Fair enough. But going back to the robbery again, let's say the main elephant in the room for the show today. You guys ever look at like tune in on other shops getting robbed, or like you tune in on like what happens in other places? Because I'll browse, say, the Magic the Gathering subreddit, and like every month or so you'll get a post saying like, hey, we're this shop in this city in America, we got robbed, we got security footage, and you'll just watch people just grab binders full of cards, just empty out entire places.
Yeah, interesting. No, I've never thought about that. I guess it plays in the US as well.
Do you reckon that's just like let's say theoretically, like someone came into Northern Boards and took all of our Magic singles, our binders, and just grabbed a bunch of product. That's like, what do we do at that point, right? What's the steps?
It's hard because the other thing is as well, like we don't use a binder, like a binder system to inventory what we've got. So even insurance wise, I couldn't really tell them how much we've lost or what that product is. Whereas like I think like
You lost 10 Black Lotuses.
Yeah, we lost $30 million. Please, insurance man.
Wow, that's also insurance fraud, which is I'd end up in jail for longer than the person who actually stole the product. So, but it's like I think like good games, for example, they don't have the binder system anymore. You tell them, you ask them what card, you ask them the card, and they'll search through their system to tell you if they've got it or not. Which theoretically is definitely a better way of doing that system, but it's a lot more time consuming and needs more manpower to make that work. Because I think that anybody who's been here realizes like in the thick of it, we only have one staff on at a time. If you're in the thick of it and you're doing an event and you're running people and you're doing things and you're kind of sorting people out, running that event, someone coming in with like, hey, have you got this card? Have you got this card? Have you got this card? It's like it's a lot, and I think you need someone dedicated to sit down and do that with them.
That's
and
right.
Like, if we had the income and the time and a person to do that, I'd love to do that because it would streamline the experience for the customer as well as for us as well. Hopefully, lead to more sales. But it's just not really practical for the situation that we're in as well. Like I think we're aiming towards some point in the nearest future where we can have a second person on, especially during the busier times, and that'll alleviate carrying on myself when a lot's going on. And like I said, ideally give the customer back a better experience. But if you could then got to make another like $40 per hour minimum, like as the shop, just to cover that extra person being there, is that really viable in a situation like this in the moment? So,
especially with all the systems that we support at the moment, it's not just Magic the Gathering inventory; it's One Piece, Arcana, Flesh and Blood. So,
which we could do better at for sure.
Absolutely. So, frankly, all things considered, we came out of our thing pretty all right.
Yeah. Hopefully, it doesn't come back.
This is our Alice in Borderlands.
So, the next topic of today's episode as well is, I've heard a ton about this, Space Marine 2.
Let's go!
Have you been playing, William?
Yes, I've been playing Space Marine 2. Yeah. I played since last week because I have that stupid gold edition.
I've been like deflecting, dodging, and just avoiding spoilers at every single chance I can get because I don't have the time right now to sit down and enjoy myself a little bit of Space Marine action here and there. But
I do
am
it
looking forward to it.
not my play. I have this.
Do you have roast stock while playing Space Marine 2?
No, I can't.
There's your excuse, mate.
So
order some takeaway.
I have this. I played through the PlayStation 5, right?
Yes.
And I don't even play it on the TV. Mm-hmm. I have this device that I bought for the PlayStation, which is like a portable PlayStation.
Whoa.
That syncs up with your PlayStation so you can play anywhere in your house besides your TV.
So is it kind of like a big, cool version of a Game Boy, is it?
Yes, correct.
So
So
you
it
turned
has
this
like
PlayStation 5 into a Nintendo Switch.
yeah, pretty much. So I can play it before I go to sleep.
Is it a Sony thing or like a
Yeah,
third
Sony
brand
thing, yeah.
Okay.
So it's a Sony, like I can't remember what it's called, but
You
it's
having fun with it?
Yeah, because I can just play it before I go to sleep.
Ooh.
So I just
just
sit
in
in bed
bed?
and then go to sleep.
Do you have a favorite Space Marine chapter?
I don't actually.
You don't have one? What about you, Danny?
Blood Angels.
Really?
Yeah, 100%.
Really?
I don't think in the game you can't choose it unless you play PvP.
Oh, you always plays an Ultramarine?
Yeah. Your
'Cause
main character is
the
Captain
campaign
Titus.
is Ultramarine, and it's really great that they made it like a
Continuous story.
yeah, it's a swamp. Like when you fight enemies, it's like a swamp. Like it's not easy.
The game looks great.
It's great.
Visually, it's fantastic.
Like the weaponry, the
I've seen a lot
armor
of-
is good.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of screenshots and
Heavy
people have sent me
bullets, like
clips.
excellent.
Yeah, there's
like-
scenes where you have just you're a space marine, right? You're in a Astartes and you're fighting alongside regular human beings, Imperial guards, and there's tanks rolling through,
Yeah.
and
And-
Valkyries flying in the sky. It looks great.
Yeah.
And the issue was like like Tyranids when they shoot like what's it called, the toxins and
Yeah,
everything,
yeah.
right? And you'll be like in the game on the tabletop you don't realize like it's just shooting toxins. Like in
Yeah,
the game you can see like, hey, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. It's to see a thing realized is to see it like from your imaginations onto the screen.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and then
having
you
it
get
visualized is
if you get poisoned and your whole screen just turns blur.
Yeah.
Like you
Because
can't
what the
even see.
Tyranids have for weapons is
Do you have
actually
like
very
little windscreen
terrifying.
wipers that go
No, you
across your
can't. No,
visor?
like when you get poisoned, your whole screen just turns green. You can't even see anything. Like it just turns green.
I'm glad that we got Space Marine 2 though, because I did play Space Marine 1, and that game came out in, I believe, 2013 or
Yeah, it's
2014,
quite a while ago,
a while ago, and the game was in limbo for a very long time. It's a bit of a cult favorite. There was very limited good Warhammer games, and
This is good.
really latched onto the one few good games. So Space Marine 1 was one of them. And when they announced Space Marine 2, boys, there was a collective, just like you could hear just all the Warhammer nerds in all the world just collectively shout and scream. in
So
happiness.
a lot of people have posted like the end
No
game.
spoilers, please.
A lot of spoilers to it. Like it's really
Yeah,
cool.
I'm trying really, really hard to dodge spoilers. I had one pretty decent spoiler spoiled for me, not from anything major. I just had someone send me a screenshot
Of
and
what?
I was like, oh, well, I saw it. I don't want to spoil other people
Okay,
either.
okay.
So
I've actually been pretty lucky. Like I haven't got a lot of that at all. I'm sure I get bombarded by it now, but
Are you plan to play or?
Look, there's a lot of things I'd like to be doing
Okay,
if I had
okay.
the time.
Fair
That I'd love to get to it eventually.
I
That's
hope
the
they
plan.
introduce local co-op, like split screen.
There
and you
is
can
not local. Local,
Yeah,
I
you
don't
could
think so.
imagine
But-
bringing it down to the like almost the plays and looks like Gears of War, and Gears of War's always been a bit of split screen action as well.
Yeah.
So
It is. It does have a little bit of Gears of War. I do like Gears of War, but unfortunately, Gears of War is only on an Xbox.
yeah, but the it's not just the single player like story component part of the game, but everyone's been really getting involved in the multiplayer because alongside the story mode that continues from the first game, they've also shipped alongside multiplayer missions where you can really customize and make your own Space Marine. I do like that a lot. They've done the clever thing of everything looks one-to-one Warhammer tabletop,
Yep.
and they've even named all the color schemes when you're painting your Space Marine all the correct colors. For Citadel.
That's fun.
So
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
painting your colors in Retributor armor.
So
or
if you want to
Infested
like
Red.
try out a new paint scheme for your models, you can just spend $150 for a video game
Just
and,
this,
and try it on
just
there.
this week after the weekend, I had a guy that I've never seen before come into normal boards in the afternoon, and he was talking about getting into painting Space Marines.
Oh, because
I
he
was-
played the game.
They
Yeah,
got him.
I was curious. I was like, "Have you been playing the new Space Marine 2?" And he was like, "Yeah, man, this universe is great." And I'm like, "They got you, dude."
I wonder if that's like how Games Workshop looks at it. It's just like this is just one big marketing tool to drag people into the
Good.
game.
sure,
That's why I've been pointing on that. Wins of like the what's it called? The change. Demon of change. What's it called?
The Lord of Change.
Yeah, a lot of change. A lot of change. Eh?
Hint, hint, nudge,
Hint,
nudge.
hint, hint, hint.
Yeah.
Well, Big Red came through, and he was suggesting some like because I spend a lot of time in the trucks and like audiobooks that can listen to, and I've been doing the Horus Heresy and a bunch of the Gotrek and Felix books. I'd actually been listening to like a Robin Hobb thing, which is pretty good. Like it's their own. Robin Hobb is like it's got its own. She's got her own fantasy version of it, and the books are quite good. I've read them, a few of them when I was younger, and I was listening to those, and then I got through the first trilogy, and it was great. It was great to be back there. And then the next book, I downloaded it, and it was it's read by a different person, like who does the narrating now.
Oh, that's very jarring.
And it's also bad. It's like incredibly bad.
That's a
and,
shame.
I went into Reddit to try and find like some ways to fix it, and it was heaps of comments about it. So I know I wasn't alone. Like there's like people who are speeding it up in different directions, so the voice sounds slightly different because she like talks really slow. The narrator for the new one talks really slow and tries to do voices, but they're not very good. And it's kind of like
I'm Jeff.
I know I showed you, Kane,
Yeah.
but I don't know if you were there, Will. But in one of the Warhammer books, there's Dark Elves, and for some of the Dark Elves, they had like Scottish accents for no apparent reason, and it was really weird. Like,
Scottish Dark Elves, I can't take
yeah,
seriously.
like Malekith, who's now Malanite or something, or
What?
they renamed. So Malekith is the king of the Dark.
Yeah, he's
Elves.
the son of
Malarian. Oh no, now he's called Malarian. That's what he's called. So Malekith was the king of the Dark Elves and like supposed to be the true ever king, but Games Workshop didn't want to get into a legal battle with Marvel. Yeah, with
Wow.
Marvel. So they renamed Malekith in Warhammer Fantasy lore to Malarian.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
lame.
but I would say
I thought like, hey, GW is gonna like go head on with Disney.
Well, yeah, I think.
Yeah, but I don't think no one wins
I
against
feel
Disney.
like GW versus Marvel, that would have been fine. GW versus Disney, maybe they're up
There's
shit creek.
always a bigger
And maybe they want to collab with
Yes,
Disney. in some
100%.
yeah.
Maybe, you know, they can't go suing the people they're going to try and get in business with, right?
the bigger fish, right? They could be the
Would you like
shark
to
in the
buy me,
waters.
Disney?
For anybody who's, regular moviegoer, in Marvel, Malekith is the elven bad guy. Like he's just from Thor. You know what I mean? Thor, like the space elves.
Yeah, duck off.
Yeah, is that like, and then so, and then but I feel like in Warhammer Fantasy, Malekith is as the king of the Dark Elves and the true like ever region of the king of the elves. It's a way bigger character than the Malekith in Thor.
Yeah.
So, but I guess, you know, they didn't want to like do a dick swinging competition there. So
Pretty
they,
disappointed with you, GW.
they cut him out there. But I don't know what the point of this story was at all.
Or the audiobooks. I actually
Oh, that fucking hell. Anyway, Big Red came through and he suggested some books to listen to, and one was Dante, which is like how Dante, like the captain of the Blood Elves, Blood Angels,
Blood
sorry.
Angels,
Master.
Yeah, Chapter Master, sorry. How his kind of like origin story. And then the second one was Devastation of Bar, where the Tyranids
like a
attack.
follow-on of the story.
Yeah. And so that's why I've been listening for the past 2 days while I try and get over the
Oh,
depression.
you have been listening.
Yeah, I
good?
finished Dante in a day. 'Cause
Whoa.
I was like, it's like, I think 15 hours or something. And
Is that where the new love for Blood Angels come from?
no, I've Blood Angels was the Space Marine army that I collected when I was a kid.
No shit.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
it's the Blood Angels. The Blood Angels are what I play as well.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I like Deathwing.
I have a
Very cool as well.
I have a Devastator squad. Oh, wait, is it the one with who are the guys that have like the
rocket launchers?
Yeah, yeah. So
Yeah,
it's
Devastator.
I had a Devastator squad, and it's the only full unit of minis I've ever painted in my entire
very
life.
nice.
Yeah.
You know what
and
I
I've
like?
been told they're not bad.
The favorite model in the Devastator squad is the guy carrying the heavy bolter.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
my favorite.
The Heavy Bolter is an iconic look for Space Marines.
Well, that
So
new
cool.
Blood Angels box is incredible,
Yeah.
and like the internal urge to say I want that and then put it in a shelf somewhere and never touch it again.
I've already
is
done
very
that.
high. Like the new Asterath in there,
I caved in
sick.
pretty hard.
You know what you should do? You just buy it and then put it on a shelf.
Then put it
So
on a
if
shelf.
someone buys it,
Yeah.
then it's like, hey,
That's really the strategy of this entire business here. It's me. It's
like,
me feeding off other
I will
people's
buy
like,
it and then put it on a shelf. If someone buys it, then it's no luck.
Like
They've
Eh.
done the combo strategy of launching the new Blood Angels as they're not only does the new box set look great, but also their rules are pretty good.
Oh, really?
So you
It's
have a
always
bit
like
of
that,
touch on the
right?
competitive and the casual side. So
The new Mephiston model as well, like the updated one,
always
is
been
one of
one
the
of my
coolest
favorites.
middle models like ever existed. So
I've always been a sucker for like vampiric aesthetics. So I got into Blood Angels because they look like vampires. And then my love for Blood Angels comes from the fact that they have, in my opinion, some of the cooler backstories.
I think so too. Yeah.
So
Ultramarines.
Ultramarines, you know what? I will give Ultramarines credit. They've gone from being the punching bag kind of poster child to having a bit more identity of late. They've done a good job of writing it out.
I think when I was younger, it was fun to hate the Ultramarines.
Yeah.
And now I've got older, I'm like, no, it makes sense. They're the most stoic and the most like actually getting shit done. Like most of the other like good faction Space Marines just kind of
Have
fuck
you finished
around.
Devastation of Ball?
No, I'm up to like chapter 15 out of 28.
Well, the Ultramarines are also part of Devastation of Ball.
Oh, okay.
So
I've got to the part where the Tyranids are like getting in there and they're like fucking this shit up.
yeah, dude,
And
the Blood Angels
Tyranids
get fucked up.
in Space Marine 2 is crazy. Like in the game, you can see like how devastating Tyranids are.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
it's so crazy. Like what they do with like, everything.
Yeah, they're a terrifying force.
How quickly they infest as well.
The classic story of we love to see our heroes succeed in stories, but almost what's more popular than seeing a hero succeed is that heroic fall. And that's always been Sanguinius for me, was that like noble sacrifice despite knowing his end, he went out and fought for what he thought was correct, because the willingness to do what is right meant more than his ability to do what was right.
Yeah.
So, and I love that story, and it was very like that Greek tragedy. He flew too high, too close to the sun, and fell.
Well,
So
I always like
Icarus.
it was some good suggestions from Red, because these are actually, because he says like if you're going to suggest some books, like these are the ones he would suggest. Because I've read most of Horus Heresy when I was young, but I honestly so much of it now I don't even remember. So I've been listening to it again on audiobooks, and now that I'm a bit older, my time is much more sensitive. Some of the Horus Heresy books
All right.
are like not good.
So here's my controversial take as someone that has dabbled in the Horus Heresy here and there. Notably, I'm not a big Warhammer like lawhead. I think I know myself fairly well, but I'm not like crazy hardened like some of our audience members are. I think the Horus Heresy as a series holds up okay, but you can actually kind of take it amiss nowadays. You don't need to read the Horus Heresy.
Yeah, a lot of them are
diehard
rough.
Warhammer nerds will be like, you got to read the Warhammer Horus Heresy, start at Horus Rising, and work your way up. But what they've done really recently was they've focused the scope of the Horus Heresy and released a new book series called The Siege of Terror. And I've heard The Siege of Terror is really good. So
Isn't the Siege of Terror the last book of the
It
series?
is, but in the recent re-release of a specific mini-series for the Horus Heresy, they've just razor focused on just the Siege of Terror and told all the stories from the point of view of the Siege of Terror. And they've developed a lot more stories by the Blood Angels, a lot more story on like, the White Scars and the Imperial Fists and how they defended Terror. And it's really
Interesting.
cool because you get a lot more of that direct characterization. So I really want to listen to those books when I get a chance.
Yeah.
So
Well, it's funny, like because obviously Red said this is the book he would suggest if out of all the books he's read, and Red's consumed a lot of the 40k
it's
like
pretty
me,
high
right?
regard.
Is this Dante book, and it's like within 5 minutes of listening to Dante, I was like, I could get it. Like because Dante's one of the few Space Marines that remembers from before he got turned into a Space Marine. He remembers his family and his father.
Oh.
So he remembers his father, right? And then there's some flashbacks of him talking to his father, and the father in this, this is a Warhammer 40k like shoot each other like kind of book, right?
Yeah.
But the father's having a discussion with the son, and the son's he's young, he's like 4 or 5, and they're expecting a new baby, and the father
Sounds like a family.
yeah.
Yeah.
But the son's having a discussion with the father, and the father's like, if you ever feel jealous, which you could feel jealous because a new child coming into their life has needs a lot of like care and like love and like a lot of attention. And he said that'd be normal for you to feel jealous, but always remember you'll always have this time with just us together, and like no extra sibling will ever have that. And I don't know if like you ever like because I tend to have children at some point, and like you, William, have 2 daughters. Like a small child can get very jealous of when a second child comes along because all the attention they're getting all the attention, and now it's getting split. And quite often with a younger child, they get more of the attention because they need it. And like an older child can get a bit jealous of that, but it's like they can, no matter have you have like 5 siblings after that, they'll never have that same time that the first child had.
Yeah.
The
You
initial
feel like
child
that
had.
tugged on the heartstrings a little?
Yeah,
It was
I did.
quite a
I was
relatable
like,
moment.
I'm like listening to this 40k book where there's like Space Marines going to shoot each other, and
Family.
I'm like, I'd say this to my child and feel quite stoic
They
about
have
it.
they have really
Hold on. Doesn't this 40k story sounds like Fast and Furious?
family.
It's all about family.
Yeah.
Well,
The thing about-
he does steal a motorbike and then drive his way to
Yeah. Check it out, Khan.
The thing about all these books is that from the onset, Warhammer can be so much of the memes and the Space Marines and brothers, but really you have some really good proper writers writing about it. And a lot of the writing does go towards the Space Marine side of things, and it really humanizes them and gives you a little more context on what it means. So, I feel like that's where the relatability of this Warhammer universe comes in.
Yeah,
Because for me, when I got into Warhammer 40k, it wasn't the minis or the games, but it was the initial intrigue of the lore that sucked me in.
Yeah.
And then I feel like constantly I talk to new, fresh faces coming to Northern Boards, and they always say, it's like the lore. I love the lore. You get people that I absolutely no like chance of ever like seeing in the street and thinking they're a Warhammer nerd coming inside Northern Boards being like, bro, you know so much about Warhammer. We get this dude who comes through from the gym on the weekends, and he's like this proper like, big dude bro gym guy wearing like a gym singlet, and he comes in and he'll just like rant on about Blood Angels for a while. And I'm like, dude, I love you, man, because I also love Blood Angels. Hell yeah, dude, let's go.
He is becoming the Space Marine.
He just wants to become a Space Marine.
Danny, behind you, there's like boxes of toys. What's those?
These are D&D kits for James, one of the fellows who comes through. So they're kind of like booster packs of D&D models.
I want one.
Yeah. If you like cracking things and a little bit of that dopamine rush from opening boxes, and you like minis, that's kind of the thing.
So with
Are
like,
they extra for sale?
we can order more
Not
if
at the
you
moment,
want
but
them.
yeah, we can
No,
get more.
I don't want. I want now.
Do you play D&D?
Well,
No.
they do limited runs, so we have to keep these aside for him because he's expecting them. But so anyone who has like booster packs, like Pokemon,
Is there
or
rare
Magic-
stuff in there?
Yeah. So it's exactly like a booster pack. If you get a set like this, then you get all of the set because there's like I think there's 8 or 6 or something in there, so you get all of the set. But there's always a chance to get like the better version of something or like a rare version of a model.
Ooh, interesting.
They're cool, but the production quality is not high.
I know.
It's a funny.
It's like HeroClix.
Have
you heard of HeroClix?
yeah, it's a little bit like HeroClix. Because James from Old Good Games
Wait.
used to be really into HeroClix.
Did you know like there was a time where World of Warcraft did miniatures as well?
Not miniatures. I didn't
Like
know about miniatures.
Not miniatures, like HeroClix.
Interesting.
Yeah, so World of Warcraft did a game where you could buy a booster pack, and you could get like HeroClix is like vinyl.
Bro, I can see it on Danny's
Yeah.
face. He's like tuned in.
So
Yeah,
He's
absolutely.
really
I
curious.
bought a bunch of them, and I got the epic version of.
Can you bring them in and we'll play the game?
No, I already throw them away.
Oh, what?
Come on, bro.
Yeah,
You threw away some core World of Warcraft
My
memorabilia.
wife forced me to throw it when I was moved here. Like that. Shit, there's so many dots in it. Like, who's that girl that did the snake? You go to
Naga?
rate. Yeah, the Naga.
Oh, yeah,
The boss. What's her name?
Sure.
Lady something. I don't know. She was
Oh,
the epic
Vashia?
one.
Lady-
Yeah. So she was the epic one.
Yep.
And then it was selling it.
Did they do mini series of it, or was it one run?
I think it was a one run, and then I think it died down because. And then what's that girl, the night elf in the tiger? What's her name? Serenade.
Oh yeah.
Princess Serenade.
Tyranide?
Yeah.
Tyranide?
But
Yeah.
she didn't ride a tiger, did she?
Yeah, she's like a Reigns of the
Right.
Tiger.
She's
yeah.
Malfurion's
Wife.
wife.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was epic
Impressive.
too.
You also know.
Oh,
I played. So here's it's tricky
Hold on,
for
hold
me
on.
because I played Warcraft 3. I did not play World of Warcraft.
Oh, interesting.
So a lot of my lore is before all the world of side of thing happens.
hold
I know
on.
all the beginning side of things.
Warcraft.
I don't know if Illidan ever gets cool, but Illidan was like pretty to me.
Miniatures.
You grabbing a book right now?
On this bookshelf behind me is my World of Warcraft manga. Yeah.
That's very cool. So actually, I feel like I still captured a lot of the important parts of the lore because Warcraft 3 was the beginning of the Lich
Yeah,
King.
you probably got a better view.
It's
like
it's
overall
called
view.
Yeah.
World of Warcraft miniatures game.
Okay, that
Very
doesn't give us a
imaginative.
lot.
Yeah, so you buy like booster boxes like this, and you open them, and then
Is it
you can
still
get-
around?
I'm not sure.
Still manufacturing?
Probably eBay's, I reckon.
Let me check on eBay right now.
This is a shout out to Patreon listener Callan. By the way, Callan, you messaged us to buy some World of Warcraft cards through the messenger chat. I will buy them from you, please. I haven't messaged you back because I forgot.
I showed Danny the message, and I was like, "Oh, he's got a Lord of the Rings Magic the Gathering draft booster box.
Yeah,
That's probably
which
the
we
one
can use for the store.
because
That's
I
actual
thought that
business,
was
yeah.
what we cared about." And then Danny just
Shit,
like
it's so
saw
expensive.
the WoW booster boxes and just did not care about anything else.
They're good.
I should have kept
I
them.
played it a bit when I was a kid,
Yeah.
and same thing. Like, it wasn't
played
worth
as a
any
kid?
money. Yeah, it
Yo.
was just here and there. Like,
We should draft it.
I don't know. I think you can only do constructed with it.
Alright.
Yeah.
We'll give it a go.
But it's like you can do because it's a very limited game. I think you can pretty readily build like 4 constructed
You
decks.
know
and
who
just play
also
each
really
other.
likes random card games? John.
Yeah,
We'll
yeah.
get John and play some.
Yeah,
World of
Johnny
Warcraft.
Coins is a random card game.
All right, you want to thank him? We gotta say this. This episode is sponsored by Imperial Numismatic.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Good job.
Wait, hold on.
The thing about collecting for collecting's sake, though, is that that's when the pile of shame gets really out of hand.
Yeah, that's very true. And that's why I eased off the board games a long time ago, like way before club times, because it was very much like you'd build
Buy
up.
for buy sake.
Oh damn!
Yeah, 100%.
I should have just kept all of it. It's like selling for $50 US.
Plenty of World of
As soon as
Warcraft
something
players.
goes out of production, obviously the price jacks up pretty quickly.
It's not great quality, but it's
Like if we have $40 a model and stuff like that, it's crazy.
You know what's funny? That's just GW price.
Yeah, true.
So
Yeah, but those things are shocking. Like they're like weird little bendy guys.
yeah, I know. But yeah, World of Warcraft came out with this.
with
once.
the eve of really good 3D printing existing now, though, you could just have your imagination.
No,
go.
it's just
True.
not fun though. Like if 3D printing is nice to have, but it's not like when it's not a production. It's just like it's too easy.
It takes a little bit of the fun away.
Yeah,
I also-
to me that's just like there's no like opening packs or whatever. Like,
You don't have that.
at the end of the
random,
day, it's
right.
not
You want the search.
original.
Not everybody
Not licensed.
has the same feeling, but it is very consistent. Like the fallacy of human nature to want the real thing.
Yeah.
and not everybody has
Yeah.
it. Like there's some people that are happy to 3D print their entire
Correct.
armies, and I've got no problem with that at all. But there's other people just like the magic cards. Like we're playing with cards, magic cards are worth hundreds of dollars.
Correct.
But it's all 3 cents worth of paper.
Yeah.
So you could just print all of them out and be perfectly
Correct.
happy with it. And
So I'm just saying like if things comes too easy, you won't have
For
fun
you,
with it.
is it? Do
Yeah.
you like the quest to find it? The
Of course, like
opening
it's
experience?
a whole process, right?
Yeah, yeah.
If everything comes too easy, you would just lose interest
It's
in it
where
very
the,
quickly.
It's where the obsession with gacha games come from these days
Right.
as well. Where the point of
It's-
gacha games is to unlock things, and if
We're not-
it was too easy to unlock, there's no reward
Yeah.
for unlocking it.
So it's the same thing. I know the accessibility of it is an issue, right? Because of the price and everything. But if everything is too easy, like, can you imagine like, weeds on in your garden? It's so easy to come by, right? You won't appreciate it. Like, if one day weeds become like gold? Like, if you have like 10 weeds, you're rich.
this feels very reminiscent of the scalps issue we had earlier.
You know what I'm talking about? Like,
Yeah, of course.
If
Yeah.
things comes too easy, like you won't appreciate it.
I think we have to accept it. That's a very like privileged point of view, but you are right. Like
Correct.
you value something a lot more if you work towards it, and like people's perception and value changed on like what accessibility they've got. Like someone who we're pretty lucky we can have the like jobs and time that we can play some of these card games and have that kind of value. Whereas someone might
yeah.
come in and be like, think it's crazy that we're spending that money,
Correct,
much
but
money on
the
a
thing
hobby,
is,
you know?
even though let's say you have a lesser budget, right? You can buy like maybe for one 40K army, you can buy maybe 4 to 5 3D printed army.
Yeah.
But having that 3 to 5 printed army, you won't appreciate the same thing as that one army that you had. It's a
Yeah.
different
I
level.
I
of
guess it's more expendable in your head. In your
correct,
mind,
but
right?
yeah, because it's too easy. Like it's just human nature, right? When things comes too easy, you won't appreciate it. It's regardless
Sure,
of
yeah,
what level of like your situation you're in. It's just when it comes in too easy, you won't appreciate.
I think 3D printing is more about just giving options.
Correct. It's
The
an option.
average
Like,
person that I know of with 3D printers actually isn't going out printing armies.
Correct.
But what they are doing is just printing out extra cool things,
Yeah.
customizable
bits and stuff, right?
I think there's
Extra
in a game
parts.
like Warhammer Fantasy where it's such an expression of your own experience and like out of your mind, the ability to I want my goblins all to have like mushrooms as their hats and whatever this is their spears. Having that option to be able to do something different is very cool. Like Alex, who plays 40K, he's playing like a Tyranids army, but all of his Tyranids are like these like mechanoid like robot guys, and that's really cool. And like when you go into battle, like when he goes to play someone else, quite often nobody else has seen an army like that, so it's like a cool new experience for that whole situation as well.
Every part of this hobby is about imagination, right? Every part of this army is you're putting dudes on a table and imagining them fighting. And whatever you get out of it, it still stems back to that creative part of your brain. So really, the person should be allowed to use
of course.
their creative side to enjoy it however they want.
I'm not just talking about
Their
like
own
3D
immersion
printing
there.
though.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, of course,
I'm gonna put in things like same thing like what Danny said, like Magic the Gathering. You can print out card, like you can just print it out from MTG proxy. Like you just put whatever cards you want and just put it onto a paper and then like put the paper onto another card and then you can play a Magic the Gathering deck.
But some people might enjoy it more that way as well.
Yeah, but it's just different.
Correct.
You want to appreciate
When you play with your
deck.
little garden gnome goblins, do you also just imagine them as garden gnomes?
Absolutely.
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 No, I'm just saying, like, if you proxy everything, it just devalues the whole process.
When I put Mephiston on the table in my head, that is Mephiston.
I think that's what, like, not everybody does it, but I definitely have the experience when I'm playing the game. There's like a story being told in my head about what's happening, and I like kind of I do the same thing with Magic. That's why I end up playing a lot of like tribal decks in the decks that I play, because in my mind I'm like I'm almost imagining like from like Yu-Gi-Oh, like you were playing that earlier. It's funny, but like I imagine like Yu-Gi-Oh when like they put the card out on the field and then you get like a hologram of the dragon and the dragon fights the other guy. Like I'm doing that in my head most of the time.
Wait,
when I'm
in
playing
Yu-Gi-Oh,
the games.
can the creatures attack the summoner?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, so you can kill the other
You
person.
can attack live turtles directly, but also you can attack other creatures.
Oh, no, I mean like
Oh well, that's how the show works.
no.
I don't know how the game works.
no, like actual show. Like, can you kill your opponent?
no,
Like,
'cause
I'm-
the-
what I'm
they
saying-
have a life total, and like if they take a big hit, they're like, oh.
Now the creatures aren't real; they're holograms.
Oh, okay.
In the-
I'm talking about like, are they real?
In the
Like,
show, they project them as like holograms.
talking about like versing, like on the broadcast chat I put up, like they should remake Robot Jocks.
Make what?
Robot Jocks.
Robot jocks.
Is that like Robo Wars?
Have you not watched Robot Jocks?
Are you saying jocks like underpant jocks?
JOX. Wait, hold on.
If we're talking about Robo Wars, they have brought that back.
No.
I don't know what this is.
Have you not watched
Do you know Robo Wars?
Robot Jocks?
Oh yeah, the English. Yeah.
Yeah, that show was sick.
I don't.
Did you watch? Okay, have you watched Pacific Rim? Right.
Yeah.
So Pacific Rim, when the Jaeger, the what's it called, the Gypsy Danger, when it was first deployed, it did that thing.
Yeah.
It was paying tribute to Robot Jocks.
Oh, when it does the fist in palm.
Yeah.
So is that where they got the like the kind of
Is
idea
this a
from?
show, like a TV show?
Oh,
from
you
back in
haven't
the
watched
day?
this? It's a movie.
I've never even heard of it before.
Oh my god! It's so, maybe I.
Is it an older movie? Or
Hey, William,
it's a
when did
19
it air?
Oh, wait, hold on.
When did it air, William?
Hold on.
William's showing his age.
I was like, I was 1989.
Come on, bro. Come on, man.
Oh,
I
sorry.
was 1989. I was -2.
Yeah. I was negative over a
I'm
decade.
sorry, guys. I thought it was like 1990s. So
Do you,
like,
now that you know it's from 1989, do you think it'll hold up?
yeah, it's still good. The storyline.
Where does it say we can watch it in Australia?
Oh wait, hold on. Let me see. Want to watch? crap.
Yeah, you got to find a DVD in an old Blockbuster somewhere.
Yeah.
I don't know, but it was pretty cool.
We have Spotify as a new feature where you can check what generation of music you listen to a lot.
Yeah.
And we've had a lot of discussion in the Northern Boards, like the Boardcast community chat where people are posting up the stats. And it's like all stuff that makes sense. Like people born around that like millennial eras listen to a lot of the millennial music. People around the 90s are listening to more of an like Gen X-ish music. And then I'm very like Gen Z-ish.
I'm a millennial with music.
I guess this is an indicator for like how old I am. I couldn't figure out how to do it.
It popped up once for me, and Spotify is this thing where they just disappear. Well, they'll show you a feature and then never show you again.
Yeah, I literally tried to find the feature on the app and I couldn't find it at all. So I searched for it.
So your homework today is to go home and watch a couple of trailers of Robot Jocks.
Yeah, but did it say where we could watch it?
I don't know.
Is it in English?
Yeah,
Or
it's in
different
English.
language? Okay.
1989. Pretty cool movie. I remember it.
If there's nowhere to watch it, I'm concerned
Like YouTube,
about how
probably.
good it is.
You can watch some snippets of it.
True.
Like exciting parts.
All right.
It's pretty cool.
I'm actually not opposed to a good mentor.
like to
What's the jocks bit mean?
it's like a jockey.
I guess that makes sense. Sure.
They could have come up with a better name.
Yeah.
Wow, it's 1989, bros.
This reminds
It's
me
a
of
big robot.
1989 had plenty of cool things.
Like what?
The Terminator. That's a cool name.
That's not 1989. And it was it 1989?
No, but it was in the 80s. It was
Yeah.
You had by then you had the Predator.
It reminds me of when I was a tiny little boy, and I haven't thought about this for years. It was Christmas Day,
Wait, hold on. Let me check
and
Terminator 2.
we've run into my parents' bedroom, and I don't know if how your guys do Christmas. I don't know if you do Christmas at all, Kang. But we would get we didn't have a lot of money, so we would do we'd get Christmas socks, and the Christmas socks would go up on the theoretically if you had a fireplace, you'd have a
As per
fireplace.
tradition.
Yeah, but we didn't have that. I think Mum would just hang it on the handlebars of the kitchen.
How many Australian homes actually have a fireplace?
If you're from the 85 backwards, you'd have a fireplace.
and if you're rich now,
86
you have
forward.
a digital
Yeah,
fireplace.
but it would be like a digital one. Yeah, if you're 85 forward, you wouldn't have a fireplace. But almost every house 85 backwards have a
okay,
fireplace.
hold on. Terminator was 1984.
Yeah.
So I watched Terminator 2 in the cinemas when I was 6.
When you're 6, your
Which is
parents were
nine-
just like, fuck it.
1991.
But
It was William and another kid in a trench coat.
yeah.
It was so cool though. Like watching Terminator 2 because you have the T1000,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Liquid metal. It's the first time.
No, that was Terminator 2. That was after.
Yeah.
Terminator 1 was way earlier.
I know, 1984. When I was 6, 1991.
Yeah.
I watched Terminator 2.
And I was
T1000.
I was born in 1991.
Oh, really? Yeah. I was 6 years old watching this guy
And you're watching
going through
Terminator.
the
Boy. That movie, Terminator 1, was rated R. And if you compare to any R-rated movie in modern day times, not even close.
Lucas and I have gone back and watched Hellraiser and some of the horror movies from the 80s and 90s, and they're we're not horror movie guys at all, but they're just so bad it's funny. It's funny, and these things were rated R, and during the satanic panic of the 90s and stuff, a lot of people were calling to get it banned, and now you watch it, and you're the graphics and the acting are shocking.
Kids are exposed to so much more mature themes now. Your average kid is going online and playing Roblox.
I feel like Space Marine will be more gory than Hellraiser.
Space Marine is
Hell
pretty
yeah,
gory. It's pretty gory.
Have you touched any of the multiplayer in Space Marine 2?
What do you mean?
Have you played any
Not
multiplayer?
yet. I'm just playing the campaign.
Do you know what class you would play? Do you know what the classes are?
Yeah, I want to go for the scout, so you can cloak.
Vanguard.
I just want to
A
cloak
Phobos.
and then just go stab
Oh no,
someone.
you're a shooter man.
I don't want to shoot.
You're like
I
a
just want
sniper
to stab
boy.
people.
Oh, never mind.
Just go behind
What are they intercessors or something? Is it
No, they're
No.
Phobos Marines. They
Yeah,
have
Phobos,
a grappling hook and they're all sneaky, stabby.
from the Kill Team box?
Kind of,
yeah,
very,
pretty much
very much
kill
so.
team, yeah.
Nice.
You know what Space Marine you would want to be? Would you be a big, bulky one, or would you be a sneaky?
Thunderhammer.
Yeah, a Thunderhammer would be pretty cool.
Big
Or
old
just a
jetpack.
guy with an assault cannon. Just wandering through with an
Yeah.
assault cannon. Remember in Halo where you'd rip the assault cannon off the back of the
sick,
warhog?
sick.
Yeah, that's what I imagine. Yeah, it'd be cool.
Yeah, you want to just be in the battle, the back of the battle, just firing away.
Yeah. I think you can't go wrong with I think that's why you guys play the Star Wars, the Legion Star Wars.
Oh, yes.
Battlefield.
I think the best thing about Battlefield was getting in there and just being a trooper. So just being a standard Space Marine, just in the thick of it, sounds
Yeah, because I remember playing split screen Battlefield Battlefront. Sorry, Star Wars Battlefront. It was, and you'd load into a game, and your mate was a droideka, and you would just be a B1 battle droid.
Yeah.
It'd just be not a fair fight.
There's just something like, because you play the hero in every like story you ever do, right? There's something about just being an average guy, just like trying to get through the day.
And what if you get a kill like Darth Vader and stuff too? Like,
Yeah, dude. But the problem is, as kids, you're trying to play against your other mate, and he locks in Darth Vader, and you have to be like, oh, I can't be a B1 battle
Darth
droid
Vader.
anymore.
I think you need to like collect points to get it.
So you have to go unlock Luke
For the
Skywalker.
online, ones, yeah.
Pretty much. That's crazy. Space
Yeah.
Marine 2, interesting. I like it. And,
I would also
have you
like
fought
to
a
be a
Lictor yet?
jetpack boy.
Sorry?
Have you fought a Lictor yet?
Yeah, that was the first boss.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, Victor. Second boss with the Carnifex.
What planet are you on?
Avrax.
Yeah, unknown planet, yes.
Oh, is it really? Is it just like some?
There's trillions of planets out there,
Yeah,
right? So
I
it
don't
doesn't
know, but
really
it was
matter.
called Avrax or something. But
got it.
Lictor was hard. I died like 10 times.
I heard the game can crank it
Because it's
out.
annoying.
Are you playing? I've seen some memes online where it's like, at the minute you turn it off like beginner, it's like pretty bad. It's pretty hard.
Yeah, I was normal and I switched to like easy.
To story mode or whatever.
Yeah.
They've had to release the roadmap of more content they're releasing, because every game now has to be a live service thing. So they're like, there's more maps coming, guys, more multiplayer, more things to
Easy,
unlock.
like normal was hard for me. Like I was like dying.
Let's say, like when you load up a game like that, are you in it to play like on the hardest mode, like Dark
Nah,
Souls?
I just want to see the story and
We just
play it.
for like story mode. Yeah,
That's why I picked easy. And the problem with that game is you can't heal. You only heal through like
Executions.
executions and like finding Steam packs. And Steam packs are like so hard to find.
Yeah, I'm assuming putting like on the harder difficulties, it reduces the amount they load into the game.
The thing is with harder difficulty, you need to be accurate with your attacks. Like you need a combo.
And you're just in there, just like spraying, like
Yeah,
cowboys.
for me, I'm just like chopping like ah.
I used to be a hardcore everything maximum difficulty. I like that little bit of pain and challenge, but having a real life
Welcome to
occupation
life, baby.
and being an adult now is like
Easy mode.
after like dying 3 times to something now, I'm like maybe.
Yeah, because like you want to feel like a hero. You don't want to be slammed into the ground 100 times.
Yeah.
With easy mode, your life is like probably double or 1.5 times.
Oh, yeah.
And like you can just hit better too. Like a normal is like you just normal life. Like, oh, that hits when the lictor hits you, like, oh, that hurts.
Well, that trailer that we watched on the TV inside the club. the
so
other day,
good, man. Tides.
What was it for? Was that for the game or was it for something different?
The animation we watched?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a new Warhammer TV animation called Tides.
Hmm.
If you have Warhammer TV, go check it out. They've done a pretty bang-on job with it. And the new one they just teased this morning, they're going to be featuring way more of the Imperial Guard.
nice.
Which I really like the idea of it. You see a commissar in action, and commissars have always been this
I
kind of
feel like
mysterious figure.
the whole Warhammer TV thing, it's great. Like they could be doing
That's
more
that
things with it.
Disney 1v1 me, bro, challenge.
Yeah. But I think they could do more things with it. Like with
course.
the problem is like people felt worth because you're getting the miniatures.
Yeah.
Like if without the miniatures, it's just like
Well, they're doing the Netflix thing of, at first, it's almost too good of a bargain not to, and then eventually they can start pulling back.
Yeah, I guess once they get like a stable of content they can use, right?
Correct.
yeah. We'll see how it goes.
At the moment, I'm enjoying it.
I like it.
I think
it too.
Warhammer 40,000 is hitting this like new. It feels like we're hitting this
Space
new
Marine 2 is like
media renaissance for Warhammer 40k, with so much more things coming out, games, animation, stories, and they're really pushing forward this new generation of 40k, which is always funny to me because on the flip side, Age of Sigmar still feel like they're after all these years trying to find their legs.
Yeah, true.
So
the issue with like if you make a game out of Age of Sigmar, right? If you're like a Stormcast and then you like fight rats, like
well, they're doing better. They realized their mistake, and now they're trying to give way more personality to individual Stormcasts. But
yeah, I know.
we'll see
like,
how we go.
It's
We'll
like
see how we go.
imagine a game like I'm gonna kill rats,
But you
giant rats,
99%
rats
chance
with a crossbow.
rather read about like Gotrek and Felix, right?
Yeah,
establish
100%,
cool
yeah.
characters from fantasy lore than this new whatever Stormcast Eternal guy. You mentioned listening to Dante. Like you can name these iconic Space Marines, but how many Stormcast Eternals can you name?
Yeah. And it's time, like, 40K has literally 30 years worth of history to it that it has that nostalgia for me. So maybe young kids coming in are reading the AS media
can't
and
wait.
enjoying it,
If they make a Space Hulk game again, a proper one.
A proper one.
Yeah, not like the shitty one that it came out like a couple.
So you like
years
you
ago.
like
Oh,
your
like a video
Death
game,
Watch.
you mean?
Yeah.
You like your Operation Space Marines, Elite Space Marines.
You played the Space Marine Space Hulk from the 80s?
Yeah, I did. That was the
That's the
fir-
one you're talking
yeah, I know, and then the new one they released another Space Hulk.
Yeah.
Oh.
There's
Like,
like
not
a
too
Left
long
4
ago.
Dead style 4-player co-op.
Yeah, it's so
Definitely good.
shit.
Oh, no good.
I returned. That's the first time I returned a game.
Steam
first
returned?
time. No, like EB Games return.
It's alright. It
No,
was really rough
I was
at
just like
launch.
played like 10 minutes. I'm like into the game. Like
Yeah.
I gotta return this. Like, and then the person's like, "Oh, why are you returning it? Because it's
bad.
I can't play."
Wait, so you went home, played it, was like, nope, and in the same day walked back to the
Yeah,
shop.
I walked back and gave it back
Interesting.
and got back my money.
Dedicated.
That is dedicated.
But no, I like Space Hulk. Like I really love Space Hulk.
In the end of the day, my ultimate game for 40k is, and if I had a wish to make, it would still just be a Total War Warhammer.
Oh no!
Give me a Total War 40k.
Give me Warhammer 40k Battlefield.
That would be
I'm
cool.
Can
fairly
you
certain
imagine
they
like
announced-
going to the tank, Land Raider, like
Yeah, like a Battlefront style. Everyone's like regular dudes,
and then the other
gunsmiths.
opposite is like Tyranids. Like I want to be a thermagun.
I'm fairly certain they announced that the Total War team has a 40k in the line. Because
Really?
Big excited.
I'm sure. I'll have to fact check this, but I 100%
Go
swear.
find
'cause
out. Go find out.
They gave a timeline of the expansions left for Total War Fantasy, and then at the end of it is on that timeline. Obviously, things can change
Yeah.
because it's still I think a year.
They want to do more Warhammer, surely.
Well, it's
Total War
Definitely.
Warhammer was a massive success for them.
after the last expansion pack that came out, I think there's only about 6 to 10 months worth of expansions for fantasy, and at the end of it is scheduled the 40k one. It's obviously a lot can change, and like it's all about money and financing and dev squads who can make the game. But that 40k is on the timeline.
They've done an amazing job of. I think they've pretty much included everything in Warhammer Fantasy.
Yeah,
It's super comprehensive.
it's at the point that for them to include any things that have to change timeline quite significantly because they've already put like Tamakan and like a few different elements to the fantasy where they've considerably like melded some timelines together, I guess, and like some really cool content. But it is really like they're outside of the time frame that they originally started in.
Because it wouldn't be hard for Warhammer 40k Total War instead of having towns, you have planets. And
Absolutely,
the same kind
yeah.
of idea.
It's exactly effectively you just move from spaceport to
Interesting.
spaceport.
And
Can't
then,
wait.
And then if that when that happens, I'll be happy.
Would you?
You know, there's a part of my brain that would be just cheering on, real excited.
Do you want it to like the Horus Heresy setting or the current setting?
Nah, current.
Current.
Horus Heresy was cool, but I also just don't want Marines versus Marines versus Marines.
True.
I want Horus Heresy to turn into like a 20 episode drama or something.
Or like a TV.
Oh, that might be the Henry Cavill Amazon show.
Nah, I think I don't think it's in talks anymore, right? Is it still doing it or
it's still
it's
happening.
cancelled?
I feel like everything Henry Cavill touches tends not to happen.
They did cancel the Magic the Gathering Netflix show.
what?
Yeah,
There
they
is a
just
Magic the
they
Gathering?
just announced they canceled it. There was a while back they announced a MTG Netflix show, but it went dark. And then recently they interviewed the director, and the director was like, "Well, I haven't heard any news back from it, so that's a big hard bump off.
Sure.
Not happening.
Magic the Gathering is like odd though.
They don't need a TV show for Magic.
Nah,
Unfortunately, like
it's odd.
there's good points of lore in Magic the Gathering, like the whole Phyrexian and the original
Correct.
storyline is really, really good. With like Sheoldred and Glissa and
I would love OG
Urza.
Weatherlight.
Yeah, all that stuff is really cool. But after that, it's a little sporadic.
Yeah,
and it
that's
feels
right.
more like Marvel team up where you have like the
Multiverse, right?
Yeah, the multi-universe War of the Spark kind of stuff where you have like they just have these tentpole people that end up being the Planeswalkers and they're just kind of phoning in the story for that to happen. And like Nicol Bolas, which is like one of the big bads, I think like they
It didn't feel like a compelling enough.
yeah, they wanted to wrap. It feels like they wanted to wrap that story up for whatever reason. So, and it just kind of goes over the headline. But it's also they've changed how they provide that story out. It used to come out in big chunks of like internet lore. It used to come in books, like in the 90s and the early 2000s, to be in books. And then they moved
Books,
to,
magazine, comics.
yeah, and then they would move to like online webinar kind of things where it was like
They'll release episodes through their own website.
yeah on their website. And now it's just kind of I don't really.
They still do their episodic stuff on the website.
Oh, they
But
do?
the problem is the storyline right now is so disjointed per set because per set now is so
Thematic. Too thematic, yeah.
It's also like the way that Magic used to happen was there was 3 or 4 sets a year max, and you would be in the same place for basically like 2 years
a block
because it'd be
set.
like 3 blocks,
Correct.
3 primary.
It's always
blocks.
3 blocks, yeah.
Yeah.
Like Saga, like you have Saga, Destiny, and Legacy, right?
And it was 3 forever.
Yeah,
and then
Mercadian Mass, and then what was the next?
Yeah.
No,
Everything came in sets of
Invasion,
3.
and then Plane Shift or something like that.
well, I think it was 3 all the way up to Innistrad.
And then inside they tried blocks of 2.
Because Theros, the original Theros, that was in 3 as well.
Yeah.
You had Born of the Gods, Theros, and Nyx.
Like Dominaria, like Kamigawa said, and then Kamigawa, and then Kamigawa Returns or something like that. Something.
Yeah, so it must be like up until the mid 2000s, like 2010, 12, you're getting 3 blocks, and then they moved to 2, and now they're at 1. And like that 1 just means you're just in and out of the world straight away, and there's no time to really get invested into the story that's really happening.
So we have this kind of media renaissance. So we have more books of 40K coming out, more animations of 40K coming out, more games coming out, and maybe even a big TV show coming out. So honestly,
There's also that
not bad
anime
being-
Lord of the Rings coming out as well.
Oh yeah, more Lord of the Rings.
Is the new Lord of the Ring
Yes.
out as well? Is
No.
it out?
No.
Oh,
You mean the Amazon one?
Yeah.
Yes, it's out.
they started showing.
but it's like still running. Sauron.
I'll have to go. I didn't realize that was back on.
Yeah.
Wait till everything finishes, then you can binge.
Yeah, but if you don't watch it early, they might not get the green lights for the new ones, right? Is that how that works? I don't know.
No,
I'm in the mood now to go home, watch some TV shows, and we're at an hour 30 now.
I'm also so tired.
All right.
I put sunscreen on today to be really
What?
to do the right thing. Well, I'm in the sun all day, man.
Oh,
I'm be
okay.
careful of cancer, and I put on too much above my eyes, and it's been burning my eyes all day.
Okay.
I should have gone home and showered before coming to the club, but I promised Tom again that I'd be here at 4, and I arrived at 7 from working, and I've just been sitting here. The sunscreen is just burning the fuck out of my eyes.
all right, guys.
we're gonna save Danny's sunscreen mines.
We're gonna be next week. All right, it's not gonna be as gloomy as this week.
Yeah.
But we promise it's gonna be excellent.
It's been a rough week.
Thank you very much for
Thank you for the support.
And appreciate
and
all the
always.
support, guys.
Thank you to all our thank you to all our patrons. I really appreciate it. You know, like we we sometimes phone it in, but we put a lot of effort in, and we like come in here at the night time. So we appreciate that people check.
We really do like the interactions we get with all our members.
Yeah, I've had a lot of conversation over the last few
I
weeks
do love
with
the,
people that are
the
listening,
chatter
you
that's
know?
happening.
Absolutely.
All right. Good night, everyone.
Ciao,
Thank you very
meows.
much. Take care.
See you guys.